A respectful partnership is one built on two-way communication, genuine care, and trust. These things don't happen overnight. Respectful partnerships set the stage for all the work you do with a child and their family.
The greatest impact in terms of child's success in school is going to be the family. And how can we work together to make sure that together the child can really excel and be competent in many areas of learning? And that's a different role. You know, I went to a center in Houston. Their mantra when they meet a family, it says, "Hello, I am, Luis Hernandez. I'm your child's second teacher because you're the first teacher." So all of a sudden, there's a shift of power here. You're telling the parent, "You're the most important teacher. I'm just a secondary one, even though I went to school for get my degree." So that changes the focus, but it really gives parents a new role, and it's really a long-term role. That together, we are working together for the benefit of the child.
Working together for the benefit of the child. This should be your key message to parents. Families need to value their role and know that you, as the child's teacher, see them as vital contributors to the learning community.
There's nothing more important than engaging the families in everything we do each day with their child. In order to understand the child, we need to build the relationships and talk to the families about their culture, their background beliefs, their values, to see how it aligns with us as educators when we're working with that child.
Relationships lay the foundation for engagement. Parents will be reluctant to become involved until they feel confident that you understand and appreciate their perspective. It's human nature to make assumptions and have biases about people you are just getting to know. It may take time for some families to overcome their own biases about you. But being aware of these tendencies and focusing on the child is a great strategy.
Something to keep in mind when we work with families is, what's really my attitude about the families I work with? What is my point of view about them? What are my stereotypes? What are my assumptions about families? Because all those personal values that I may have may taint how I see a family. Together, we're here because of the benefit of the child. We have to keep in mind that we have to work with that parent, regardless of my attitudes about them, for the benefit of the child. And it might be able to understand where that family is coming from. And the fact that they've made incredible sacrifices in some cases to have the child in our center. If that's the case, really, let's think it in from a strength point of view. What are the strengths of that family? What is positive about that family to make sure the child has a successful academic life?
When you communicate with families, especially if you need to discuss challenges, always include positive elements. Make sure you share details specific to each child's classroom progress.
But I think it's when we're doing good observations that we know how the child responded to the activity, how the child felt about the activity, whether the child was interested in pursuing the activity further. And that's meaningful information to give parents. I think we like to go through all the things that a child did, but how a child responded to that activity, what the child said about the activity, recording the child's words and so on, that's what's meaningful. I think that's what lets a parent know that you know that child, not just a group of children.
Sharing details reassures parents that even in a group care setting, you can recognize and meet their child's needs. We did a cooking activity today, and Michaela was so excited. She talked all about cooking at home with her grandmom and how they had baked banana bread together. She showed the other kids how to spin the bowl and stir at the same time. She was very proud of what she knew. Let parents know you see their child's unique qualities, and they will likely be more willing to work with you to meet needs and overcome challenges.
If you have a parent that opens up, that's a plus, right? Because you're now learning about some of the core values of that parent. That in itself is a gift to the teachers, and the teachers need to understand that. They have to understand that the parents have just given them a tool to be able to work with their child. If the teacher understands how to use that tool.
When caring adults from home and school talk and plan together based on the child's strengths and needs, they're more likely to produce a consistent, effective approach to helping the child succeed.
Sometimes it's the case that parents really do see qualities that the teacher may not be seeing in the classroom because perhaps the child in a group is very overwhelmed, feels very threatened, has not yet figured out those social rules and social skills that will let this young child be part of the classroom group. And it may be that at home there are all sorts of things that would be wonderful for this teacher to know about as far as the child's interests, as far as the child's passions and endearing qualities. And so parents can also be a source of information and support.
Well, every parent has stories and skills and experiences, culture. We often use culture because that's a way that we can easily see through food and cooking experiences and music and all of those things. But I think any parent can be invited into the school to read to children, to give them the extra time, to be the extra hands, the extra heart, and really listening to children and really enjoying what they have to say and sharing in the life of the classroom.
And you know, Mrs. Daniels,
Parents can be a valuable resource to teachers, and teachers should be a resource to parents. When the relationship is healthy, parents will often turn to teachers for advice.
Great.
And then to be a resource to them. And I think that it's important for teachers to recognize that they may or may not have all the answers, but can I help find the answers for the family? What can I do? And it may be that I, as a teacher, have this resource or this information, but I may need to turn to other people and other professionals to help get the information and the resources that families need.
Developing a respectful partnership with a family doesn't happen overnight. It requires time and open communication.
Sometimes we like to kind of speed race through this thing that, hey, I met you, we're best friends now. It's not going to happen that easily. Remember, families are still giving their children to us. We're complete strangers. How can I be able to form a bond with that family and reassure the family that the child is safe and secure with us? We, just very much like we need to give assurance to children that are safe and secure, we must extend that same message to the families. Your child is okay with us.
These messages are important for you to believe and deliver regularly to families. Healthy relationships depend on this kind of communication. Partnerships can be hard work, but the work you do is an investment in the child's future.
I think programs have a real responsibility to help parents understand all the learning that is there in their interactions with people, in play, and all the ways that sets the stage for a really strong futures for their children. Because if they can learn to get along with people of different ages, people of different cultures, people who come from all sorts of different experiences, and here they are in this classroom or program together, and they have to figure it out. And if programs can help parents understand that powerful possibilities are happening there to really strengthen their child's ability to deal with whatever life throws their way.